Good evening. Hello there, fellow modelers. Right. This kit. These are the seats for this kit. So, first of all, before I go any further, just like to say hello to a Johnny boy and his son Hubert. Oh, Hubert, just ask your dad how the wine machine making's going, or how the wine machine's working. Ask him if it's working properly. He'll know what I mean. You might not, but he'll know what I mean. But you two know who you are. So, John, if you watch this, how's the wine machine going? A little joke between me and one of my mates. But there we go. Right, anyway. Now, John did request I do a video. I was going to do one anyway, but he did request on how I do this. So, if I zoom in, wherever the hell it is. There it is. Oops. There we go. Right, so. I don't know if you can see this in the light, but there's kind of texture. So, this is the original seat. Nice and smooth. Very nice, but don't look realistic. So, on there, I managed to do some texturing. These are old 1990s seats, so they weren't they're kind of velour I think it was cloth, like velour cloth over there, and it used to ripple and stuff. But if you want a bit of a showroom finish, then this is the look that I was aiming for. So the whole idea of it now is how do we get that look? So let's get this out of the way and let's begin. So what you need is a part of that or something else. And these are sanding pads, so you don't use this side, you use this side. And what you do is this. So let's just make sure that I can get you in. And what we do is you get this stuff and you paint it on. Right, so you do the front first, through there, round there. And as you can feel it going on, it does get a little bit sticky. Yeah, so you just wallop it on any old hair. So there's plenty of it, yeah. And then that side, then you just dab this on. So you dab it on all over like that in the paint. And what it does is it gives you a texture. Right? So I'll do the whole seat so that you can see. So what we'll do here is we'll do that. So across there like that. Right, and then again over there. Doesn't matter, that one can have a few swirls in it. Oh, the hyperactive one's on the go. You have to excuse the noise. I don't know what she's up to. Banging furniture and Tracy trying to trash me house. She's got autism, so can't stop. I've given it. Well, I don't think you can. It's not like a disease, but it's like a family trait. I'm the one that's autistic, and I've given it to my poor daughter. She's a lovely kid, but my God, when she has a tantrum, she has a tantrum. So as you can see, like I'm dabbing all that in there, and there we are. And so we have another kind of a finish, you see. Then you can just go over there like that with that bit, and that gives a bit more right off of there. And then into the other bit here. I suppose all you lot that have got kids are bound to have all these videos or films or whatever it is they got on at the moment. I can't remember what that one is in there that they're watching. Something to do with elves, I think. But yeah, anyway. So there we are. That's not all done yet. So that's that bit. And then last but not least is the bit here. So you've got the bit in the middle and the bit that rolls down there. So chippy Christ. The only Chippy I knew was Chippy O, the F18. Or the Chipmunk, wasn't it? I think that was another one. Right, and then you go in there and do that like that, right? So that gives you all your texture and stuff. Right, so then you've got your texture on your chair. The texture comes around the side as well. So what we do here is we run this bead of glue around there, like that. And then again, you can use another new bit, and then you just dab it all around there, like that. Come back, and when it starts to get tacky on the sponge, that's time when you can call it a day. So again, we go around here, like this. And again, do the tacky business. And there we are, and then we've got the edge as well as the seat all done, like that, you see. And then when you spray it up, it'll look like that. It'll look like that when it's sprayed. Now, what else have I done? Right, let's just move those aside a bit. Now, on the engine, we have a bit there where pointer. As you can see, I haven't got my phone holder at the moment. It's just clamped on with a little one of these clamps that I've got. So I did the same effect with the same glue on the turbo. So this particular part of the turbo here, this is the bit that they say that rusts. It's got like a rusty colour on it. Right, so the instrument part there, where you've got some pipes and wires that might come off of it. I haven't done that bit because I'm not 100% whether that would rust, because that, although it gets hot, it probably is a funny, like, titanium-y, petroleum, not petroleum, titanium, what is it? It's probably like a funny heap of metal. They tend to go a little bit sort of titanium, goldy, silver looking. That's the manifold to the turbo, so that would have cast effect on it as well, which this one I have done again with the sponge. Yeah, as you can see, let's just move that out of the way. So as you can see, and they're fighting. Oh, she's off. You tell them. So there we go. So that's the manifold as well. Didn't really bother doing the back so much because of the fact that you don't really see it. And although I did the bottom, but I only didn't do as far as there because that's not going to be seen either. So I did that with the turbo. I've done it with the seats. They're pretty smooth. The radiators don't have much, or the oil cooler as that might be. Just trying to think what else I've done here. I don't think there is anything more in the engine wise that I've done like that. So, right, anywai, I don't know what I was saying, just dropped out. Oh, well, see, that's an instrument panel. Right, okay, so anyway, so that's that, using that effect, using the glue with the sponge, and you just, yeah, and that's how it turns out. And that's how the seat turns out, like that. So it's a little bit, you know, it's not too bad. A little bit soft there, but the back's nice. But if you want, all you can do is just, so say you wanted to felt this bit up a bit more rather than being smooth, just wipe off your brush, put the thing back over it again, like that, and then just go onto it and maybe push a teeny bit harder, and then it roughs it up, you know. And there you are. Right, get those out of the way for a minute. Now we have a wheel and some tyres. So they all come in like this, 3 bits. well. So we don't put this together yet. So this slides on the end of a battery operated drill. Let me zoom out a bit here. So this slides on the end of a battery operated drill. So like this, and you just put it over there and butt it up to that, yeah, and then turn the drill on, and you can sand it down and what have you, and away you go. And then that gives you gets rid of the lines, and it scuffs the tyres up. Now with these ones, because this is the spare, so with the road tyres, I've done them exactly the same, except for when I took these off the drill, they were a bit warm. So what I did is I wrapped them in this like this, and I just used to dab it around. And I don't know whether it picks it up, but apart from that, it's bloody dust now. Picked the wrong one up, didn't I? I don't know whether it picks it up, but you get like the burring effect on the tyre and little tiny stones, because these are obviously slicks for racing on tarmac. So can you see the little, yeah, look, the little specks, and that comes off of this padded sandpaper or sanding pads, and that's how I got that effect on the tyres. Now the other thing as well is of course when they're brand new, they sometimes have some markings on them, and then the name might be highlighted. So this particular one, be it the spare, I did polish with Autoglym, which is a resin polish, and I must admit it was a bit of a trial and error thing, and it was a bit of a failure. It didn't polish the wall of the tyre up, so I've got to think of something else to try and buff, because obviously the tread of the tyre isn't too bad. I've not wrapped that round when I did it. I just basically polished this one off with a very, very fine sandpaper, but you can still see the line going around it, although it doesn't physically, it's just a scar, I think. But I don't like these things either, these little, where they come off the rubber. There's only the one, lucky enough, but it's a pain in the arse, but it's a spare. But this wall, I thought myself, do you know, I might run something round it to try and bring it up. So yeah, so that's that. So I've done pretty much the exhaust pipe is one piece. Well, it's not one piece, it's 3 bits, I think. There's the end bit there, but I decided to put an extra bit of a large cap on it because it was just looking a bit too small. Look, that's the original, and I thought, well, let's put a bigger one on, and then it comes down, smoothed all the pipe out, and then it attaches to the turbo there. But this is the smoothish part. It's got a little bit of stippling on it that I've put on there, but not as much as the rest of the rusty one. So that's that. Then I've been busy, so I cut the fuel tank off, the crash plate on the front, the dashboard I've put together. It's only 3 bits, so you got the top part, the steering column, and the front main fascia. So and a little bit of photo etch there. So that's all good. Then there's the front gearbox housing for the front wheel drive. And that's done. The rear wheel drive gearboxing's done. Prop shaft, it's just one piece. The radiator with what looks like a intercooler on it. This has all got to be painted. There's a gearbox housing. And what looks like gearbox fluid tube. I don't know. It could be the engine oil there. Then you've got the air, so the turbo, this is the other part, so the turbo and the intercooler, the oil intercooler, and then there's air that goes in there and goes around to cool the turbo down. Then we got the fuel, where the fuel goes in from the outside of the current, it joins onto the tank like that. Just that. Front bumper. Front grille. It's not done yet either. Don't need to do that yet. There's another oil cooler. It's got to go on. Then you got the air vent. Now the thing I was going to do with here, I haven't got around to yet, is this usually has a rubber seal. So it gives you this lip around there. But I've got a feeling if I was to get a piece of rubber tubing and then glue it round there, that should be good enough to make that look like a rubber seal. But the trouble is I've lost all my bloody tubing because it's in the garage where I literally cannot find a bloody thing. Oh god, I'm knackered. Just finished work. But yeah, I thought I'd say it. And then the disc, I made one disc. So they're vented. I didn't know whether to put the drill holes all the way through. I think I decided not to in the end because it could ruin it. Hang on a minute. Oh, glad time. Yeah, it could ruin it. I have watched a guy on YouTube who was making one of these exact same cars, but it was from a different company, so it was a really more detailed look at the car. When it comes to discs, he actually used something like this, a monochrome pen, and yeah, he put the shine on around the edge, and then he painted the discs and sanded them back, and then he used some of that monochrome paint to just bring up the glint on the disc where it's been used. And yeah, it did look quite something. He didn't show fully how he did it. Obviously he's keeping a bit of secrecy to himself, but but I'm gonna have a go and see what I'm gonna. This is the alternator with the pulleys, so that's the thing there, and then the housing, that it all goes on like that, which is all very nice. But again, just whether it looks realistic. Fire extinguishers. Again, I think that one looks like it could be a red one because it's a foam extinguisher. These two, I'm not sure, well, they might be nitrous actually, but they seem to be painted a silver colour in, what's his name, steering wheel. Again, with the steering wheel, because this is all shiny satin plastic, basically I just got this and just went round it. God, I'm losing my voice. I went round it like this, and it just gives it that look you need. Because I think this is on a Sparko wheel, this one's a Momo wheel. For definite, I think this is like a Velcro, not a Velcro. What do you call it? Is it like a velo felty type material? But anyway, but that basically makes it look good without even painting it. And then that goes on the dash, which is over there. Not really a lot else at the moment. No, there's not really a lot else at all. Let's put all this back in here, clear the bench a bit. The engine was quite a nice piece to put together. Obviously, like this isn't glued on. You know, it all comes off. The side beer, that all comes off. So yeah, I mean, it's this would be like a steel colour red. All the top's red. This is red down here. That's your oil dipstick, I presume. Christ, what is it? I make a video and all of a sudden I start coughing, yawning, and then for some unknown reason, crap gets in my eyes. I don't know how that works, I don't know. So yeah, so this will all be like a steel colour, is what they're calling for in the book. I don't know, it could be aluminium. But either way, it's going to be, it'll be painted some metal colour. And this is aluminium as well. And then when we move on to the actual jam jar itself. Hang on, I'm wobbling things. So, oops. So as you can see at the moment, this is all just taped up, but that's the lower tray. With the upper one, I glued the air box in on the top, and so it got a little vents with the mesh in, and that's that there. And then, God, I need to go to bed, don't I? Bloody hell, it's only what? So I don't know what the time. Oh, because I'm using my bloody phone. So, right. So because this all basically gets paid silver, so I just push fit the old pedals in. These all come out, as you can see. So I just push fitted those in for the time being. I'll put them in that box so I don't lose them. These are all stuck in because obviously this is the handbrake, this is the gear change. This is vehicle engine stop or nitro stop, I don't know, depends. It's one of them to do with one of them anyway. Spare wheel holder, and then this is the wall between that and the boot. Hang on a minute. What? What's this? You want me to open it? Do things for the kid. There you go. Yeah, I'll take it. I'll drown it out. I'll drown it out. I'll drown it out like that. Yeah, like that. There you go. Go on. That's it. Well done. Yeah. Strawberry chocolate. Nice. So, as the underside, this has all got to be painted aluminium colour. So I'll give it a coat of black and then whack a load of aluminium on it, maybe at the weekend, if I can get it done. So, yeah, so there we are. So that's the, I was going to say the Lotus, but it's not a Lotus, it's a Lancia Delta Intergrale. There's the roll cage, so it all sits on there. I glued all that together, and then I clamped it all down so that it wouldn't look wrong, and it doesn't, and it fits all right. So yeah, I'll put that in there actually because it'll come out again. So yeah, so it all fits in nice, neat and tidy, and yeah, that'll be ready to go in at some point. So that's it. So I've got basically all the basics done, and where am I going here with this? This is the trouble. Yeah, so I've got all the basics done, and like I say, all I've got to do now is get things painted, start putting them together. The engine I'm going to wire up, so I've got a piece of this came, it's elasticated, but it came off one of my daughter's handbags or something, I don't know, that she's got some item she had, and basically all it is it looks like what do you call it, braided hose, and it's elastic, look, 'cause it stretches to a certain point. So I thought, right, I can use that. And there's a couple of other little bits and bobs I have got here still, but oh Christ, the old arse ends talking. So anyway, but on that note, thanks for looking in. So I think we'll, probably call this the last build of 23, but I can see this probably going into 24. So it was a build I kind of started, but yeah, it's definitely going to be probably knocking on 2024's door. It's quite a nice thing to have. I've got a Porsche, Martini Porsche, and I thought to myself, yeah, with both of these, looking in at like showroom condition, yeah, it should be quite good. Everything I've ever done, I've always weather the shit out of it. So I thought maybe for once, this and the Porsche, I won't weather. But with the Porsche, I had the problem with the bonnet, and I've got to sort that out. Well, I've got to find it first, and then I've got one other big car, which was a Nigel Mansell's racing car. And then I've got a super big car to do, which is the D'Agostini Formula One Lewis Hamilton's McLaren, which I started a while ago, but unfortunately I was told that it was the wrong colour silver as it comes in kit form, so I'll have to, we're going to get a visitor now. This is one of the cats I've got. Fee, what are you doing here? I don't know if you heard her meowing. Here she is, look. Bloody size of it. What are you doing? Don't attack. So, yeah, so basically what we'll end up doing is getting all of them done. I've got a I've got a big build that I really can't wait to get all the bits to. And that is the Agostini Rossi bike. Obviously, again with that, you know, that's a big. What's she? Fucking cat's ears. That's a big bike because I mean the back wheel is that sort of, well, probably a bit bigger, about that sort of size. So it's just, if you've ever seen one of those poacher, whatever they bloody hell they call them, motorbikes, then you'll know how big it is because they do the Ducati, and that's 1/4 scale. So yeah, I'll be making that. I'll tell you what, you're lucky because you can't see what's happening at the moment, but this cat is on my shoulders and it's doing what cats normally do, which is Nigel bugger. That was her claws. God, it leapt off. I hate that when they do that. So yeah, it's oh god, there's another one. So yes, so next year is going to be interesting on some big builds. I think I know a few people that if they do watch this will probably laugh because this probably will not be the case, but I'm actually going to try and stop buying models and try and actually make and finish some of the ones I've got, because it was only when I moved and I suddenly realised, Christ, how many have I started? And no, I've not finished them all because I've had no room to put them, but they've just stacked, and that's why I think in the last place I lived, it just looked like there was a mountain of scrapped aeroplanes behind us, you know, or to one side of us. So I'm going to try and get a few done. So I'll try and get this done. Well, not try, I will get this done. I'll put it up as this is the number one, part one to the build. Also, it'd be a case of you can review the thing as well. I mean, there's all these reviews going up at the moment. I mean, yeah, I have got a Fairy Gannet from Airfix, and yes, it is a nice looking kit. There's no point in reviewing it because, you know, I think when people, I call it a look in the box, not a review. It's a look in the box. So if I was to review something, I've got to build it. There's no point in just reviewing it. How can you review something if you've got to build it? The review is in the building, not in the looking in the box. A look in the box is a look in the box. Anyone can look in a box, but you can't tell how well it's going to go together unless you build it. So, you know, all of those out there that call them reviews, they're not. They're just look in a box to see what you get and what the quality is of the product. That's it. That's where it starts and stops. The review really should be in the build of how it builds. So this is, you can take this as a build or take it as a build review or as a review, whatever you want to do. This is Italeri 112 Lancia Delta Intergrale HF 16 valve, and I'm building it. I'm getting everything ready so as it doesn't bore the tits out of everyone watching me, you know, cut off bits and bobs. I'd rather just watch someone build it and think, Christ, you know, this is how this has gone together, this is how I've done this. It's like this roll cage. So I set it all up. I glued this to here, glued that to there, that pinched that, then I put that in, then I put this in, then I put this in underneath. It was all in, it was all soft, it was all, you know, and then I just clamped it to the chassis. That was it. And then I left it overnight to dry, and then here it is. So I mean, it's not bad. It is what it is. It is a roll cage and stuff, yeah. So there are a few ejector pin marks in it, but they can quite easily be dealt with. You know, you're not gonna break any fingernails sorting them out. So I mean, those ones. There's one there. I don't know whether you can see it, but there's one right there, and it's erased. So all I do is I just get a sanding sticker or a file and just file it down and round it off, and that's it. Same with this one here. That one's raised. I think there's one on there. But do you know what? When it goes in the car, I don't think you're really going to see it because the spare wheel sits here. So that's going to knock out that one. I probably won't really see that one. But either way, anyway, this is the Delta Intergrale. I've shown how I do the seats. Shown you the rubber. I've shown you everything I've got done up to now. Nothing's painted, and there's only a few bits that are glued together that I know that I can glue together. So like the exhaust. I mean, it comes in three or four parts. And I thought to myself, you know, so you've got the one bit at the end, this is number 2, this is number 3, that's number 4 there. So it all goes together and then you plonk it in. So I thought, well, why not glue it all together, sand it all down, you know, get it prepped and then spray it so it goes matte black, and then you can spray it all the different colours. So it's a steel pipe, so you whack on the steel first, and you can put some shiny bits here and there, and then where they have the heat or the you know, I mean, there's always a section of rust on a pipe, usually here where it gets really hot. So I'll have to have a look, and have to have a look see if I can see that. I did know someone years ago that actually had the HF Intergrale. It was a lovely looking thing. It was a yellow one, and it was a left-hand drive, so it was all original. And he, you know, he got this thing and it was bloody superb, but I never got any photos of it. I don't know him anymore, and he probably hasn't got it anymore. He's probably in a graveyard in the sky, unless he wrapped it up for one Christmas and stuck it in a garage, and that was the end of it. But it had these wheels on. Like I say, it wasn't a Martini thing, it was just a normal HF Intergrale with those wheels on, and they were grey. They were like a gunmetal grey colour. All black interior, and yeah, like I say, it was yellow bodywork. So I'm going to write off because I'm getting boring now. So yeah, now if I do not come back before Christmas because of the work I'm doing at the moment and life in general, because I've moved into this new house, which I'm going to try and do a video and show you where I'm actually working at the moment, but it's I've just had all the floors laid and done, so yeah, it's looking, you know, rather nice. It still needs decorating. I mean, it's an open book at the moment, you know, and you know, I've still got some cack wallpaper there, and well, some what's left of the wallpaper there, and a I don't know. This is a bloody. It's like a chair rail come picture rail, but he's put it in upside down. So yeah, obviously the guy was not very clued up on decorating stuff. But never mind. It's my house now, so I can decorate it how I like. So I will, and that will come next year. But yeah. So anyway, thanks very much for watching. And if I don't see you before, have a great Christmas. And if I definitely don't come back between now and then have a really happy and safe new year to everyone. I'm pretty sure I'll be back before, because it's been a while since I've done a video, and that's why I thought I'd do one tonight. It's a bit of a bollocky all over the place one, really, but you know, there you go. So yeah, so if I do another video, I'll do the Christmas wishes and that again. It's no, you know, make myself look stupid, never mind. So yeah, but anyway, that's this. So that's the one we've been doing. I might do number 7, but it's 2 French guys, or I might stick to the originals and do number 1, which is the Italian drivers and co-driver. But that's what we're doing, and yeah. And so on this note, I shall bid you farewell for now. And like I say, happy Christmas if I don't see you before, or if I'm not back on here before, and if I'm definitely not back on here before the New Year, which I can't see that happening. I'm bound to be on here before Christmas anyway. But if I don't, happy New Year, guys. Stay safe. Keep modelling. See you in a new one.